Okay, so right now we are looking into the most important part of your preparation for AFM. This is earlier they used to call it strategic financial management. Now it has become advanced. Either way, there is a superlative. Now, unlike the first paper, there is a superlative for this, which means there's something different about it. So the reason why we are having this discussion is you have somebody who has scored 8300 examination, recent examination. You also have your mentors, both of them scored examinations here. So to give you a quick perspective on the approach to the paper, revision is done, practice is done, everything is done. But with what you already have, again, what you already have, how can you maximize your score? The delta here is up to 20 marks. People don't realize it. With the same level of preparation, just by understanding a right approach to the paper, you can add plus 20. The plus 4 to plus 6 are there in MCQs very clearly. MCQs, elimination. Elimination, it's mandatory. Don't select the answer, eliminate. Uh, like nothing is more important rule than this. Okay, this is what you have to do for elimination very clearly, and be ready to invest 50 minutes or up to 1 hour for MCQs. Two questions and then stick to MCQs. This is what has to happen. So Harsha, you can quickly take them through. I'll be while she's explaining for your reference, I'll be showing you the question paper and the answer sheet also parallelly, so that you know what you have to do. What is it you need to do is what we'll figure out. Okay, Harsha, just when you got the question paper, what is the first thing you did?
First thing to obviously I flipped the paper and went to sixth question. I identified from which concept it is.
So this is the question paper.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Yes.
So here there is no other decision making. Six you're directly going.
Yes, and then identify which concept it is from and what is the requirement of the question.
Can you elaborate on that for any of this? So what is the requirement of the question? What do you do specifically?
So I go to the last this bit only, and then floor is they asking from which chapter it is, and then what topic from that chapter.
Okay, so basically chapter and specific one, you just
Hmm.
quickly jot down that. So this is what you initially did in the first 15 minutes.
Yes, for sixth and fifth question both.
Sixth and fifth are processed.
Yes.
So the reason why we are doing this is, number one, when you open the complete paper, you may tend to get disturbed. You may get a lot of triggers. So sixth is closed this side, right? You can't see anything else. So that is why you are doing it. The moment you get the paper, process six. Whether you write it or not, process six, then process five. Then if you have time, process four also. This is how it is. So this is about the processing part. It's simple and straightforward. She just picks up and writes the core topic. What exactly is specifically being asked. Now coming to the answer sheet. So I started with six here, right?
Yes.
Okay. Now this is a question here. So this is a question. So what should be the thinking architecture? Let's say that there is some data, there are some questions, there are some numericals. So how should they start? How should their thinking start? You mentioned something about thinking and not writing happening. Can you elaborate on that?
So when I decided like sixth and fifth is from the concepts I know well, then I can get 50% more than 50% in these questions. I started processing them further for surprise checks. Then after getting the surprise checks, I went to know the treatment, like it has to be added or deducted, and there in the question paper itself I wrote plus minus, this thing has to be added, this thing has to be deducted. I wrote the formula also there only, so every single bit which is given in the question, what is the treatment of it in the answer, that's what I wrote in the question paper itself. Both for sixth and fifth question I did that. That's it.
So in terms of the answer, what is the approach? So how would you start? Like basically there are multiple ways of starting. Can repopulate the numbers in the question. There are many ways. So how would you normally start? So what is your
What I normally do is I see when I know the requirement of the question, I think in my mind thoda backward, like for this requirement what I should get, for this thing I what I need, for this thing what I need. So in this initial margin was the first step that I needed for further calculation. So I started calculating that, then maintenance margin, and then that format has to be there. The only thing is when I saw this question is something I already know, there is high chance of me being overconfident and making mistakes. So there also I kept myself calm, and with the plus minus that I jotted down on question paper, I wrote that in the answer sheet also. and I again went back, checked the calculation, checked that plus minus what I thought is what on the paper, and picked the question from information from the question rightfully.
So for every step, so basically, let's say this is the answer. There is some level of reworking, a slight level of working that is very minimal, which is leading to the core answer. So here, as you can see, there is a marking for every step. So if you can do this, what happens is if a mistake happens here, you won't lose marks here. By the time somebody gets to the mistake, you should have already scored. That is what I'm trying to tell you. Because in some of the papers when I see it is becoming zero altogether. So the answer, make sure you do it in incremental steps. So that at any given point of time, until that point, you can get some marks for what is already right. That is exactly one aspect which you have to look at. So this is on this lines. Yeah. So next question. What did you? How did you approach the next question? Question number 5. So this.
Here also I decided the treat already in the 15 minutes I decided the treatment, and then on the paper I started putting the amounts on the paper. As I told that overconfidence can lead to mistakes, so that's why I referred back and made those corrections. That what is to be deducted, I wrote in the brackets. Still I added it.
Okay, this I wanted to emphasize this. You have already processed it. There's a lot of people making this mistake. So can you emphasize upon this? What happened here? You scored marks, but what actually happened? Why did that happen?
I was in a little overconfident that this question, as it is, I've just practiced before exam. So I was like, I'm doing right only, and I'm adding things. Then I went back and checked, because overconfidence can lead to mistakes. So I checked, and every single amount add होना था तो add ही किया है, minus होना तो minus ही किया है. So that's why I found the mistake that add करना था minus कर दिया. So, and I made the correction.
So here, one important aspect. There are two types of questions which you know, which you don't know. The questions which you know, please do not apply memory. Please do not operate out of memory. Don't make that one step mistake, like where you. This is exactly what she's referring to. Actually, it's more dangerous to know a known question because you completely operate out of memory, and they make a very minor thing, minor adjustment, which will totally go wrong. You won't even know that you're going wrong. Never apply memory. Don't do anything based on memory. Increment again. The same point, the first question which I told you, step by step, step by step. When you do step by step, every step is validated. It's very important to do that. Okay. So if you see the paper is quite clean in terms of when you for you to get this, she only lost 10 marks, 11 marks altogether, right? Which means an average question it's 12 out of 14 in every question. There are a couple of questions where she scored. So this is exactly how the paper is. It's not significantly different. It's not very special. It's just that it is done in a step-by-step incremental manner. Okay, this is the outcome which you have to look at. I hope you already spent time and you have to look at it. Now, quickly going through the rules once again. So the first 15 minutes should already give you a platform to score 15 marks, right? At least that should give you the platform. 15 minutes is equal to 15 marks. This is a game changer. In FR, even if you put 15 minutes, it takes time to execute it. In AFM, the thinking is done, writing can happen fast, right? So this is where you can accelerate. So this is the game changer. So either two questions or three questions, process completely, and this is what it is. Preferably not go beyond 4, 6, 5, 4, two question process it. Sixth compulsory process whether you eventually attempt it or not. Now, each point, just quickly explain in a couple of minutes. All of this. What do you mean?
So for first hour, it's always about numerator. Like you should be accurate, because first the questions we choose, they are the questions which we know more than the other paper. So those questions, at least it should not be a mistake in calculation. It should not be a mistake in plotting the information from the question. So for that purpose, first of all, the question is processed on the paper. Put that thing on the paper itself, answer sheet itself, and then avoid thinking and writing simultaneously. If you think you need more thinking into it, drop your pen and then think.
This is very important. Otherwise, your clumsiness in thinking will come onto the paper and you're wrong. Drop your pen and think. Drop your pen and think. For FR, this is not required. For AFM, this is absolutely required. It is very, very important. And also the direction of the question. So So how do they go to the specific direction of the question? What should be done over there?
For direction, chapter and the concept arrived. Because for AFM, it's very direct. From which concept it came, it's very direct. And then second is obviously accuracy. Accuracy happens when either you are plotting the wrong information from the question or it's calculation mistake. Avoid both of these. Check specifically that is this mistake is not done. This only. But also many people are like, we don't want to go back and check because it will take a lot of time. All of that. It's okay if it's giving you marks. It's preferably to do.
Yes, this is one layer. Again, after 15 minutes, when you do that, and once you do the MCQs also, go back and check. At least the first two questions which you are done. Definitely invest 10 minutes for review. This is very important. Next.
Next are after doing two questions or maybe the third question, but two questions ideally, then invest time into MCQs where elimination approach is very important because sometimes you don't see the other option and you took the third option. The answer is fourth option. So elimination approach, and also if you don't know the concept in the MCQs, you can do reverse calculation. Putting the time in MCQs helps because objectively marks are given. There's no subjectivity of marks reduction. So yeah, and also calmness is very important while doing MCQs. If required, I've done 3 times box breathing in the exam itself. It takes just 1 minute, nothing more.
So MCQ is there. Every case scenario, do a box breathing. Calm down, do it. Calm down, do it. Because that is where you can extract. I guess we have 24 in there. So 24 is what is the reality and possibility. So make sure you do it very, very calmly. Again, it's not linked to your memory. It's linked to your processing
and that one case scenario was where I was clueless what they're asking and what is the requirement of the case scenario. There only with these two techniques I managed to get marks in that case scenario.
So what about this first question, Shraddha?
First question is preferable to do because it will reduce your decision making. Last hour mein the time should not go into decision making. So first question has to be done if you know well.
Give it some 15-20 minutes. Whatever time I'm going to do it. If you either save it for the last, or if you're doing after MCQs, give it 20 minutes and keep moving forward.
Then after that, the idea is to complete the paper. Accelerate, accelerate, accelerate. If you're getting stuck in any question and you think it will lead to taking more time and marks won't come, then leave it then and there. Leave that question, move to next question. Because getting 1 or 2 marks out of 7 is easier than getting 6 out of 7, 5 out of 7. So here it will be like thinking and writing should happen simultaneously because you don't have time to first process the question and then write on the paper. And yeah, denominator, this is the game for denominator. If you attempt 100 marks paper, then numerator may, even if it's 2 marks, 3 marks, 4 marks, matlab adding okay, it will become 60. So completing the
So
paper.
this is a framework which you have to work upon. Now exhale once, all of you exhale completely. Close your eyes, exhale. Exhale, exhale completely, exhale completely. Slowly start inhaling. Inhale, 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 inhale further. Inhale for 5 more seconds. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Retain there, retain, stay there. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold, hold. Slowly start exhalation for 10 seconds. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Shunyaka state, distress tolerance. Once you get habituated to it, it is easy to tolerate distress in the exam. 7 more seconds. 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Keep your eyes closed and relax your breathing. Breathing, you can relax, keep your eyes closed. Quickly visualize. Now you're going to the exam center. You're entering the exam hall with a sense of calmness without worrying about the syllabus completion. You understood the game plan. You just saw the blueprint of a paper which gave you 83 marks. So you understand how to score 60 in descriptive and almost 24 in MCQ. So a slight reduction of that will still get you an exemption. So you are going with that intention without any stress, without any load. And you're making the process very simple. 3 single hour exams. So first 15 minutes, you're trying to accelerate and score 15 minutes. So at the end of 15 minutes, visualize that you're able to know that you're going to get those first 15 marks for sure. So that is sorted. You're slightly better about it. Now you implemented it at the end of 1 hour. You're confident that, okay, this is crossing the first hurdle. It will move towards 20 marks in the first hour. Then next comes your MCQs. Pay complete attention. If you're not able to solve it, put more time. Once again, put more time. Invest 1 hour into MCQs and cross 24, 22, whatever you might get. So that 1 hour can be happily invested for MCQs. Then move on to the next best question. It could be question number 1. if you are choosing question number one, only give it 15 20 minutes and move on to the other questions. Like last 1 hour, 20 minutes. This is exactly how it is. So if you have time, quickly review the first question which is solved in the first time. This is how it is. So visualize that while you're coming out of the examination hall, you know that you are going to cross. You know that you are going to cross that milestone of 110 or 105. And if you cross 40 or 45 in audit, you're going to become a chartered accountant or you're going to clear group one. This is the outcome with which you have to walk out of the examination hall. Visualize this, and let that feeling sink in. This is exactly what we are trying to do it. Now, the negation. Let's also look at the negation. The paper becomes completely tough. A paper like never before. You're also getting ready for that. You're not going with a dreamy paradise state. Then that when that happens, you're all prepared for exemption. There are a lot of people who prepare for 40. What about their situation? So you're ready for that because there will be three steps. The evaluation will be different. The marking scheme will be different. The overall pass percent won't come to 1%. You still, if you're in the exemption zone, you'll still clear from the top 10%. It won't be less than 10% no matter what. So be ready for that also. It's just a change in the pitch. You thought of it's a batting pitch, it will become a bowling pitch and you can still win the match. So don't worry about marks and all of that. A lot of things will happen. I see it has a lot of tools to moderate or equalize this difficult papers. So that is none of your headache. If that is the case, the strategy lightly moves into sub question format. What is the sub question? Right. So don't let that shock hit you. You're alternately okay with that. In this scenario, while walking out, you should be walking with a sense of prideness that this is a very difficult paper. I still handled it well. I did my best. Let me do the audit also. Let's see what happens to the aggregate in that point of time. That is the mentality with which you operate. So there is no surprise, there is no shock. You're ready. You're goddamn ready, and that is exactly how you are going ahead. Okay. So start rubbing your palms and gently place them in your eyes. Keep looking into your palms and open your eyes. Ready, all of you? Okay. All the best. Good going. Yeah.